And good morning, everybody. We're back once again for another attempt. That's probably how you spell that. So if I'm not as quick responding to comments today, I hope you will pardon me, because I've had to make the portion of my screen that displays comments a bit smaller. And I'm doing that so that I can have another window open for sea shanty lyrics. Alright, let's see here. We've got planes, that's nice. Some planes, not as big. I had a pretty good run on Sunday. Sort of wish I had streamed that. Got all the blaze rods I needed, and on top of that, I also got a fistful of ender pearls. Not all the ender pearls I would have needed, of course, but still. We don't make mistakes. We make happy accidents. I wonder how Bob Ross would have felt about people growling that line under their breath. I can't imagine he would have been thrilled. I mean, there's all these happy little trees around. And that's a village. Whee! Huh. Underwater cave. Okay, not much of one, but, you know, still. That seems like the sort of thing that in the real world would have drowned a bunch of children who live in this village. Nice. You know, much to my dismay, I've never actually had the opportunity to use bed-based PvE strats. I'm only vaguely familiar with the theory behind them. And we've got the iron guy over there. Excuse me, chaps. Wonder how these guys find to their beds since they're like this. We had these crazy vocal warm-up exercises back when I was doing musical theater in high school. Like, they didn't tell you about them ahead of time. It's just when we actually got around to the part of the year where we were doing the show, Mr. Noons, the music director, would come in, sit down at the piano, and start playing a song. And it was a song that mostly involved scales and arpeggios, and there were lyrics, but you were never actually taught the lyrics. It's just that all the older kids would start singing them, and you'd have to pick them up as you went along. Scales, arpeggios, and enunciation exercises, basically. Chester Cheater chewed a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Chester Cheater chewed a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Chester Cheater chewed a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Chester Cheater chewed a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Before I get into singing in earnest, I should mention that I've been able to get my I've been able to get the average cost of my stock position down, but I did not get it down at the optimal price point. So how did you get in there? Why did you get in there? That's just bizarre. Okay, well, not gonna worry about that too much. We'll need more wood eventually. Don't care about the fact that we're leaving aesthetically unpleasing trees around the place. Professionals have standards, and maybe over on the Scuffed multiplayer I will worry about that. But for now, I gotta kill you. Sorry about this. I don't think there's any way you can cut this where I'm not going to end up wanting something a little more substantial than just the minimum amount of iron. Hey, we got a viewer. Sing out, viewer. Who's with me here? I'm taking song requests for the first number of the day. I mean, you're gonna have to guess correctly one of the 3 songs that I've got lyrics for open, but still. They're all sea shanties. And they're also all ones that I've tried on this stream before. Just, you know, ones that I could probably stand to practice a bit more. Alright, well, if you prefer to lurk, that's your business. What shall we sing for the Twitch stream lurker? What shall we sing for the Twitch stream lurker? What shall we sing for the Twitch stream lurker? Early in the morning, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Why not go for the Weller man again? Why not go for the Weller man again? Why not go for the Weller man again? Early in the morning. Way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Don't you get tired of sea shanties? Don't you get tired of sea shanties? Don't you get tired of sea shanties early in the morning? What shall we sing for the Twitch stream lurker? What shall we sing for the Twitch stream lurker? What shall we sing for the Twitch stream lurker? Early in the morning. Way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Have you learned Christmas at Sea yet? Nope, that doesn't work. Not enough syllables. Have you learned to sing Christmas at Sea yet? No. Have you learned the words for Christmas at Sea yet? Have you learned the words for Christmas at Sea? That's a tricky one. Don't even know the threw off my improv. Yeah, this is why we have rehearsals. And I scared him away. That's a shame. Well, since no one's here at the moment, still need to come up with verses for hit subscribe to your Twitcher. Well, it was on a Monday morning, and the day be calm and fine, to the Harbor Grace excursion with the boys to have a time. And just before the sailor pulled the gangway from the pier, I saw some feller haul my wife on board as a volunteer. Oh me, oh my, I heard my old wife cry. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife say, I wish I'd never taken this excursion around the bay. We had all 300 souls on board, oh what a splendid sight. All strong and regimental to make our spirits bright. And myself being in the double, when a funny thing they say. They choke themselves from laughing when they see us in the bay. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife cry. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife say, I wish I'd never taken this excursion around the bay. Me wife, she got no better, she turned a sickly green. I fed her cake and candy, fat pork and kerosene, castor oil and sugar of candy. I rubbed pure oil on her face, and I said, you'll be a dandy when we reaches Harbor Grace. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife cry. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife say, I wish I'd never taken this excursion around the bay. Me wife, she got no better, my wife, me darling dear. The screeches from her poor throat you could hear in Carbonear. I tried every place in Harbor Grace, tried every store and shop, to get her something for a cure or take her to the hop. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife cry. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife say, I wish I'd never taken this excursion around the bay. She died below the Brandies as we was coming back. We buried her in the ocean, wrapped up in a Union Jack. So now I am a single man in search of a pretty face. And and the woman that says she'll have me, we're off to Harbor Grace. Oh me, oh my, I think I heard me old wife cry. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife say, I wish I'd never taken this excursion around the bay. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife cry. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife say, I wish I'd never taken this excursion around the bay. Hey! Let's see if Great Big Sea comes after me for that one. The problem with Great Big Sea is it all sounds like folk music, but I'm pretty sure they actually wrote a lot of the stuff they sing. My grandpa Frank had that problem, Frankie Rogers. He wrote a fiddle piece called the Ook-Pik Waltz. And now it is so ubiquitous in the traditional music scene that people believe it's actually a traditional song. Most of the connoisseurs know the difference though, so they'll be like, nah man, that's not a actual traditional song. Frankie Rogers wrote that. Oh, that reminds me. That bit about oh me oh my. I didn't realize how recently people still used that expression. I've been spending time with my other grandfather, and he says oh me oh my occasionally. And I thought, it's a strange and arcane thing to say. I don't know anyone in my own age range who actually says that anymore. But then I realized I do. It's all the weird anime people. That's what ara ara means. Or, you know, something close enough that you can translate it for that purpose. Anyways. Here's the Wellerman. There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of that ship was the Billy of Tea. The wind blew hard and her bow dipped down. Blow me, bully boys, blow. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Ha! Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boats had hit the water, a whale's tail came up and caught her. All hands to the side harpooned and fought her when she dived down below. Huh! Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. No line was cut, no whale was freed. The captain's mind was not on greed, for he belonged to the whaleman's creed. He took that ship in tow. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. For 40 days or even more, or even more, all boats were lost. There were only 4. For 40 days or even more, the lines went slack, then tight once more. All boats were lost, there were only 4, but still that whale did go. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. As far as I've heard, the fight's still on, the line's not cut and the whale's not gone. The Wellerman makes his regular call to encourage the captain, crew, and all. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Forgot to move my microphone over here before I started recording. Well, streaming rather. I'm also recording. It'll show up in a place at a time. Alright. What can we make with all this mess? I left my crafting bench on the beach, didn't I? Bugger. Okay, need to be sure of getting one of those. And then one of these. And then we'll go for iron tools. Get this weak sauce out of here. The safe thing to do here is to encapsulate it. Is that gonna work? How about that? Yeah. Oh, hey there. Hi, Ulan. Yes, I am having fun. This looks like it should go on for a little ways, just as soon as the lava here has dried up. There we go. Although, in passing, I should mention that I am down here looking for standing lava. I've got as much iron as I think I can reasonably expect to gather up, before I run out of time for this world. Bar sheep bubbles. Yeah, good for me on the Minecraft front. It's a bit of cold comfort, considering that I have not achieved as good of a result in this morning's endeavors in the stock market as I could have hoped for. However, these things happen. And not fun like hell, nether hell. Oh, missed the first one. You're stuck in hell. I'm sorry to hear that, Ulan. I am going to assume that it's one of those metaphorical hells. You know, like separation from God, or something to that effect. This only needs to be at 2 high, and we can put it there and out there to get the flow going in the right direction. That ought to do it. That was a creeper noise. Hello. You just stay where you are, bud. Metaphorical hell sounds real good. Okay, be serious with me for once in your life, Ulan. Please tell me you are not in any physical danger. Or at the very least that you are not literally on fire at this moment. If I'm singing "This Girl Is on Fire," is that a bad sign? I'm going to say no. I don't know of anything that's a danger sign for. Not unless your song choice is suddenly correlated with the stock market. Oh, bugger. This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them. Well, in this case, you're not on fire. Good. Good, good. Glad to hear it. If you were on fire, I'd need to find more viewers. And that's just not happening in this economy. I hear another one. What do they want from me? You know, apart from killing me, obviously. Of course my concern is touching. I'm a very caring and compassionate individual. My goodness, that man blew himself up. It's a travesty. Okay, that's the second time some poor man has fallen down this waterfall and blown himself up. I'm filing an OSHA complaint. Relatively quiet, yes, but you missed the initial few, songs. Somebody who didn't leave any comments in the chat showed up, and I started improvising, what shall we sing for a Twitch stream lurker? What shall we sing for a Twitch stream lurker? What shall we sing for a Twitch stream lurker early in the morning? And then tried to come up with a verse for every song I might conceivably have sung for a Twitch stream lurker. Unfortunately. Am I saying? Oh. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying, Ulan. Mine shafts are extremely unsafe for work. For crying out loud, there's people blowing themselves up out down here. So the question is this leather armor going to... Oh, version of Minecraft. The one version of Minecraft you might genuinely be afraid of. Yeah, with Microsoft at the wheel, though, I don't think you need to worry about that. What fresh hell is this? Get it? 'Cause it's the Nether. Thank you, Ulan. I am very funny. And exceedingly modest. It seems like the rest of the household is waking up. I can hear the coffee being ground. You know, by somebody other than me. Man, this biome is crap. I am probably never making it back to that portal I came in through. But that's okay. And very convincing with my arguments. I mean, when I pull out my argument A game, Ulan, I do get results. The problem, of course, is that, I don't know when exactly it started, if this is like a Kantian thing specifically or what, but people have started to view the purpose of reason as, primarily a polemical social thing. Like they say, ah yes, I must create the best arguments because then people will finally have no choice but to agree with my obviously correct viewpoint. That's just not what reason's there for. People use reason because it's man's tool of survival. Each individual person, to whatever extent they can practice it. You don't need reason to batter down your ideological enemies. You need reason because if you don't use it, then you will either coast along by the good graces of anyone who will carry you, or you will starve. Enough about my sunny disposition. Let's go to the next set of lyrics I had open. It's Christmas at Sea again, and I will get to those soonish. That is correct. However, Ulan, you are correct that most people just don't want to change their opinions, regardless of how much or how good a reason you might have for them to do so. But the real point I was trying to make is that no amount of argument can actually compel a change of mind. And despite this, people think it is. This is an abysmal biome to be trapped in, and frankly, I'm thinking of writing off this whole world because it's not going to be any more navigable. Well, okay, you know what? I'm going to try getting around this corner. If I can get around this corner, over there, then maybe it will all have been worth it. Though, frankly, I doubt it. Whoops. Well, good try. And if this one goes belly up, we will go over to... Okay, setting the timer again. That's a calculator. And away we go. And as for why I seem unoccupied at the moment, Ulan, it's probably because I don't have a guest on, and I also don't have anyone but you in the chat. Care to help with quite the annoying task? Alright, Ulan, if I can help you just by talking to escape from whatever hell it is you're trapped in, then by all means. What is this quite annoying task you have? I don't like being in this forest. I don't have sight lines. You have to attach examples of classical literature to essay topics. Ulan, this sounds a lot like you're asking me to help you with your homework. But, go ahead then. And you dislike classic literature, to say the least. How classic are we talking about here? Because my knowledge of literature is microscopically detailed in some specific cases and merely microscopic in others. Anything both of us would recognize would do. Well, that's a problem, because if you're talking genuinely classical literature, I don't think Terry Pratchett counts yet. I've not actually read any of, Oh, that's the type of obviously known we're looking for here. Okay. So what kind of essay topics are you looking to attach Terry Pratchett references to? Neil Gaiman doesn't count either. if we go earlier than that, my knowledge is pretty much confined to Ayn Rand. Is she classic enough for you, or do we need to go even further back? Because if we go even further back, there's a multi-millennia gap, and then my knowledge resurfaces with the Iliad and the Odyssey. Although I should mention in passing that most of my knowledge of those works comes from, what do you call it? Their influence on the pop culture, rather than from a detailed first-hand account of the original sources. If Ayn Rand counts, then what essay topics would you like me to try and attach references to her works to? Anything older definitely counts. Well, I've got a passing familiarity with Victor Hugo. Still waiting on what essay topics you want those attached to. I need the other end of this equation, Ulan.
Here we go. What meaning do things have for humans, and how do...
What meaning do things have for humans, and how do prejudices change our actions towards things? We're gonna need to get a little more specific than things. If things is in quotation marks, is it that you just need to come up with a that's verbatim. Okay. So we're looking at what... Hold on, let me scroll back to that. What meaning do things have for humans, and how do prejudices change our actions towards things? What meanings do things have, and what action are for humans, and how do prejudices so what is the meaning of things, and how do our prejudices... That is a pretty annoyingly phrased essay question. Oh, I see. Well, if you went with an angle of differentiating between the naturally occurring and man-made, so, like, divide all things into two broad categories. We'll call them, as Ayn Rand does in her non-fiction works, the metaphysically given and the man-made. In Atlas Shrugged, we see two very different types of attitudes held by two very different types of people. And the key differentiating factor between them could be interpreted as their differing attitudes towards naturally occurring, metaphysically given things and man-made things. So there are two basic types of people in the story of Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. You've got people who think that there is an important and essential difference between man-made things and naturally occurring things, and you've got a set of people who will say crazy stuff like a factory is a natural resource. And these manufactured goods just got here somehow, and the only question left for us to answer is how should they be distributed?
What meaning do things affect their behavior?
Well, like I was saying, in Atlas Shrugged, these two different attitudes towards the two different types of things leads the first group of people, the people who think there's an important difference between metaphysically given and the man-made, those people end up being the people who support the weight of all of civilization by undertaking the responsibility of thinking seriously about the requirements of man-made products, specifically like really complex man-made products like an industrial civilization. They understand what goes into making those, and they don't just think, well, they're here somehow and now we just need to worry about how to equitably distribute them. Those people are worried about where they come from and what is required by their nature to ensure that they keep existing. Then you got the other kinds of people who, thinking that these goods and products just got here somehow, with that attitude, they do things like implement the what they called the Railroad Unification Plan, where they said that at the end of each year, all the railroads will deposit their earnings into a shared pool, and then the revenues will be divided on the basis of how much track each railroad company has. Which ends up meaning in practice that the most profitable railroad will be the one to incur no expenses by running no trains while still having a length of track that gives them a share of the revenues from their more productive counterparts. So that would be an example of how contrasting attitudes about man-made things lead to radically different results in practice. But what I'm really saying is read Atlas Shrugged. because it's philosophically challenging, it's also a very good book. And I am not doing it justice by trying to drag out the philosophic meanings while I am playing Minecraft. So I am going to go back to singing sea shanties now. The sheets were frozen hard and they cut the naked hand. The deck was like a slide where a seaman scarce could stand. The wind was a nor'wester blowing squally off the sea, and the cliffs and spouting breakers were the only things alee. Guess we're going back to building. We heard the surf race roaring before the break of day, but 'twas only with the peep of light we saw how ill she lay. We tumbled every hand on deck and sent her with a shout, and we gave her the main topsail and stood by to go about. All we tacked and tacked between the south head and the north. All day we hauled the frozen sheet, but got no further forth. All day as cold as charity, in bitter pain and dread. For very life and nature we tacked from head to head. We gave the south a wider berth, for there the tide race roared. But every tack we made we brought the north head closer board. So as we saw the cliffs and houses with the breakers running high, and the coast guard in his garden with his glass against his eye, the bells were... The frost was on the village roof, as white as ocean foam. The good red fires were burning bright in every longshore home. The windows sparkled clear, and the chimneys volleyed out, and I vowed we sniffed the victuals as the vessel went about. The bells were upon the church were rung with a mighty jovial cheer, for it's just that I should tell you how of all days in the year, this day of our adversity was blessed Christmas morn, and the house above the coast guards was the house where I was born. Oh, well, I saw the pleasant room, the pleasant faces there, my mother's silver spectacles, my father's silver hair. And well, I saw the firelight, like a flight of homely elves, go dancing round the china plates that stand upon the shelves. And well, I knew the talk they had, the talk that was of me. I'm the shadow on the household, I'm the son that went to sea. And oh, the wicked fool I seem in every kind of way, to be here and hauling frozen ropes on blessed Christmas Day. They lit the high sea light, and the dark began to fall. All hands to loose top-gallant sails, I heard the captain call. By Lord, she'll never stand it, our first mate Jackson cried. It's one way or the other, Mr. Jackson, he replied. She staggered to her bearings, but the sails were new and good, and the ship smelt up to windward just as though she understood. As winter's day was ending at the entry of the night, we cleared the weary headland and passed below the light, and they heaved a mighty cheer, every soul on board but me, as they saw her nose again, pointing handsome out to sea. But all that I could think of in the darkness and the cold was just that I was leaving home, and my folks were growing old.
Oh.
Sorry, Ulan, I completely missed your commentary on Atlas Shrugged. You are correct that when people discuss it, it's very sharply divided. And I think that if you look into it more, you will discover that Ayn Rand actually was aware of that divide of opinion while she was alive. and that in her nonfiction, she even theorized a bit about why it was. I won't put words in her mouth by trying to explain it while I'm doing something like this, but I will say that the divide of opinion has been a fact since around the time the book was written, and one other observed fact that may be of interest is that the divide seems to run like this. You've got literary critics and serious philosophers who won't give Atlas Shrugged the time of day. But if you look at the sales data for the book, it continues to sell well, even now more than not quite 40 years after the author passed away, and more than, let's see here, I want to say it was published in 57? So, geez, that's, yeah, more than 60 years since it was published. And you're definitely not going to say why you think the divide exists. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, far be it from me to ask somebody to weigh in on a controversy. But the observed fact of the matter is that the book continues to sell well, and not just to sell well, but I think to be, in some measures, a bestseller. Oh, crap. That was the acacia tree that I was holding on to. Yeah, I think this is turn around and head back time. This is not going to get me anywhere. And yeah, that's the direction I need to go in. That's a sure way to create drama where none is needed. Oh, come now, Ulan. I thought you were all about that drama. It was one of the most startling things I remember thinking about you, considering that James is pretty anti-drama. Oh, no political drama, of course. Well, that makes sense, I suppose. I'm sure we can mend fences if we can just get all the congressmen and women in the United States to get together for a sing-song of "Why Can't We Be Friends?" Only soap opera drama or life and death drama. No political drama. Gotcha. Duly noted. Message received. With murderous drama thrown in for spice. Yeah, I find it strange that these are your dividing lines, but, I'm not going to interrogate you on it when we're in a voice call, or until and unless we get in a voice call about it. Me and my habit of trying to efficiently find resources in villages when my inventory is already full. I've got acacia leaves, and I've got... Yeah, I've got acacia, and I've got... What do you call it? Sand. That's all I came here for. Strange is your middle name? I had one more set of lyrics in the pipe, but I think I'm gonna save it until I've had a bit more practice. The song is Barrett's Privateers, and I'm not feeling quite up to snuff on it yet. Set feet row, set feet row, set feet row, set feet row, set feet. John Paul Jones is a pirate. No loyalty does he possess. Keep it up, we'll catch the pirate and sink him along with the rest. Born the son of a Scot, he was born the son of a Scot. But cut a man down in his prime, he did, so away to Virginia he got. Oh, John Paul Jones is a pirate, no loyalty does he possess. Keep it up, we'll catch the pirate, and sink him along with the rest. Raise the flag of the Yanks, he did, raise the flag of the Yanks. You're still salty with me for missing your verse of early in the morning about discovering the Homestuck Wiki. Alright, well, tell me what you learned on the Homestuck Wiki. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of what's on there is pretty close to being cursed knowledge. Nothing. That's what you were singing about. I'm not sure I follow that, Ulan. Are you saying that you learned nothing on the wiki and were singing about that? Yes. Jeez, I should have brought a shield. All these mobs, but I'm not here to fight mobs. It's just build and chill. Whee! Leaving holes in the landscape. I mean, the synopsis was quite something, but I definitely didn't clear up anything about this supposed cursedness. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Most of the Minecraft cursed content has to do with, actually, you know what, it occurs to me that Minecraft predates the meme of calling things cursed. So it's really only that it was cursed in retrospect. And as for what was cursed about it, well, you heard me say sadomasopedo-robo-necrobestiality. That was not an exaggeration. That was an accurate description of a canon relationship dynamic. Maybe you're too ruined by the internet. Oh. Hey. It's the end of the world alarm for a world that already ended. Maybe you're too ruined by the internet to be in any way convinced. I mean, I guess excessive exposure to the internet might inure you against the shock of discovering what goes on in Homestuck. I'm not wholly convinced of that, though. I'm trying to think of how to explain the parts of it that I found most disturbing. I guess most of the part of it that I found disturbing in retrospect was the fact that I spent so much of my life getting invested in a story that ultimately was its... Oh, for crying out loud. Okay. This is going to go poorly unless I dodge faster. That did not help. What I found disturbing about Homestuck, in retrospect, was the fact that I spent so much of my time getting very invested in a story that went nowhere, accomplished nothing, and ultimately suggested that none of the characters had a clue what was going on. It was basically a drama which took place in a world that was displayed as though it were inherently chaotic. And what are these ice archers? I've never seen skeletons like that before. Okay. Hey. Come here. I want this guy to kill you. Thanks, man. Dum, dum, dum. Dum, 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 dum. Geez, I sure hope T-Mac wanted that on purpose. No, it's, there were definitely character arcs. It's just that the story made it seem as though all of the character arcs were ultimately insignificant. Yeah, people made progress that was significant to their own lives, but the conclusion implied that it was all essentially worthless, I think. There was a lot going on, a lot of it very involved, and yet, despite all that, when you got right down to it, all the efforts of the characters proved futile because I think it was that even with, like, they defeated the big bad guy at the end, I think they left it a little ambiguous whether they were able to defeat Lord English in the end. Okay, sure, but why would you produce a story that was as inconclusive in that respect as real life? Even real life stories have definitive endings. Like, you could say that the story is regarding a series of events, and I should not be trying to do literary analysis while I'm playing Minecraft. This is a problem I often have when I'm talking to James. We brought sand because we wanted glass. That's what this was all about. Yeah, okay. Yes, death is a conclusion to real-life events. That wasn't the only example I was making, though. If a story concerns a series of related events, then I think you can say that any drama playing out in real life will eventually come to a definite conclusion. It doesn't necessarily have to be somebody's death. Oh, hey, look. He healed the librarian. And he got mending for him. Nice. Very nice. That is not great. I think I have the solution, though. Okay, I've gathered my wits enough to make a statement. And it's that I think it was a piece of bad storytelling to make a story which, like Homestuck, had a conclusion that was left utterly ambiguous. Or rather, not that the events were utterly ambiguous, but that the nature of their impact was. Whoops. we got a big dramatic scene of what appeared to have been a final battle. And an implication that the characters we were rooting for were winning that. But, oh crud. There's a creeper down there. I do not want to deal with that. I don't think we can get corner stairs without a intermediary stair. We might have to make spruce stairs. Come on. Follow me. There we go. I'm not doing Homestuck justice in this conversation. The conclusion of the story, or I guess the ending of the story, was a big dramatic event that definitely lived up to the hype. But it disappointed expectations because it left the implication that the outcome of the conflict either was unresolved or did not matter. Like, I think the implication was that at a cosmic scale, it didn't actually matter whether or not the army of characters aligned with the protagonists was able to defeat the antagonists. The implication was generally there, but it's really only an implication because despite the fact that they used the one thing that was supposed to be able to destroy this guy's immortality, it's, they used the one thing that was supposed to be able to destroy this guy's immortality, and despite using it, they left it ambiguous whether it actually worked to destroy him. That's the takeaway here. You're right about the futility of discussing deep shit on a Minecraft stream. Yeah. I mean, this is the sort of thing that I would normally write an essay about. Oak is warm and homely. Birch is light and clean. Spruce is pleasant and, pleasantly dark and somber. And acacia, it's orange, baby! Spruce stairs, that's what I was looking for. I want spruce stairs to go in front of the spruce log uprights. Where's my spruce at? There it is.
Now
Now that sounds like the end of Inception. Yes, it was, and I'd say it committed the same problem I have with Inception, which was that in the end we don't actually, the way it is presented, we don't actually really know how things played out. It's all left to implication. It is as though the writer, having reached the end of their story, couldn't decide which answer would be thematically consistent. Or, actually, no, it's worse. The author did do the thematically consistent thing, and that's why we like the stories so much. But the thematically consistent thing, in this instance, was to leave an ambiguous answer to the question of whether any of it ever mattered. In the cosmic scale of things, it did not matter to the author whether Vriska was a hero or a villain, and it did not matter whether anyone received justice for the crimes that they either committed or were the victim of. Can I double up on corners? Yes, I can. That is a great way to create some depth. Whoops. But apparently I cannot triple up on corners. We might then go for spruce logs. Your Chateau Castle is coming along nicely, not to worry. Well, thank you for that vote of confidence, Ulan, but I am still, in fact, going to worry about it, because worrying about it is the only thing I can really do to check my work. Not married to that corner, and it's probably going to come back to haunt me one of these days, but for the time being, it looks alright. It is adequate for the time being. Where's the time being? Can you see the time being? Is the time being behind me? Yeah, that's not going to work either. This whole facade is going to need to be changed. Well, this side of it anyways. That'll be acceptable. Gonna need a few more spruce fences. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, let's take the wider view on this. Yeah, alright, so I think actually if we extend that middle part up by 2 more blocks to the actual height of those uprights and then we invert. Actually, you know what? Let's only just reverse it 1. Yeah, okay. Trust me, everything I just mumbled will make sense by the end of this. Or, you know, in half an hour when I run out of time. Alright, well, I will catch you later, Ulan. Thanks for tuning in. I did not use birch stairs anywhere in here. It's all been oak. So if we do the top layer first, it'll actually make this a little bit easier. Some scaffolding would have made this easier. Still, we'd need bamboo for that, and we don't have any. Can we get rid of this and replace it with... I think we can. Yeah, that looks much better. What is this? What the heck? Oof, man. Them's ain't good numbers. Yeah, but bad numbers, good jokes. Yeah, that's how I'll do that. That is going to need that. And so's this one. not right. Wait, no? Yes. Yes, it is. Never mind. Yeah, that works. Okay. in the event that anyone is watching these tapes back and is trying to get inside my head, congratulations. There's no Minecraft inside my head. Right now I'm trying to remember where I had first heard of Alexander Hamilton before the musical came out. Like, when was the last time anyone had talked about him before I heard about that musical? Oh, for crying out loud. There. We're gonna run short of time pretty quick here. I think. I think. Yeah, that drop looks a lot worse than it is. Sorry, I'm glancing at my stock portfolio out of the corner of my eye. Pretend you didn't see that. Let's see here. I end up facing the same problem at the tops of these corners, don't I? How did I solve it? 3 corners there, and spruce stairs. I'll need a few more of them then. What? Oh, it inverted. Okay. Yeah, we can deal with that. Wrong stair. 3rd time the charm. There we go. Well, on that note, I think I'm going to wrap it up. This still has some work to do, but we can finish up most of that facade on the Thursday stream. Let me just take one last good look at this. Yeah, apart from that dirt, it's looking pretty spiffy, I'd say. I'm thinking I'm going to make the roof a bit steeper, like step it up by 1 whole block and then a stair, rather than making it a strict 45-degree angle. We can cram more stuff into the top floor that way. I mean, not that that's an overriding priority, but at the same time, it's still a consideration, I think. This is a snowfall place. We want a steep roof so that snow doesn't end up piling up in bands. So I'll see you next time. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, you know, all that stuff. Links in the description for Twitch if you're watching this on YouTube. I should probably put link to YouTube in the description for people watching on Twitch. Another thing to add to the to-do.